So for the last recipe that I wanted to show you for today, I will show you the UTM Parameter Monitor. So as you probably know, if you're using Google Analytics or any other web analytics software, you probably want to pass on parameters from your Facebook ads to your website, where Google Analytics or any other analytics tool will pick up those parameters. And so on Facebook, the way this works is by using the URL parameters section at the bottom of each ad, as you can see all the way here, right? URL parameters, and even Facebook even has this fancy parameter builder now that we don't necessarily need, but can use. So I'm just gonna kind of ignore that for now and close this. As in the examples before, we currently have 4 ads active. 2 of those don't have any UTM parameters. One has our best practice UTM parameters, and the other one has wrong UTM parameters. So I'm going to go into my best practice UTM parameter and look at what these look like. And as we can see, and I'm just going to kind of set it up in the kitchen app. What happens as before is that this recipe will run whenever I choose to run it. So this could be kind of manually right now, but it could also be every day or every hour, whenever basically you want to know whether something is broken. I recommend to run this as often as possible, because if you're setting up new campaigns and you kind of mistyped some of your UTM parameters, or somebody in your team or colleague kind of messed something up, you probably want to know right away. So the best practice for this would be to run this at least once a day, maybe in the evening once you've done your work, and always kind of check back, any ads that have been edited in the last 24 hours, so in the last day. And then you would want to send yourself a notification into your standard channel. I'm not going to put in a message here. And to actually kind of make this work now, we need to provide the correct UTM parameters. So in this case, the UTM source should be Facebook. The UTM medium should be those variables that Facebook allows, its site source name and placement, and UTM campaign contains ad ID and ad name. The ad ID allows us to choose to match the ad on Facebook and Google Analytics perfectly, so that's really good to use here. But if we're only using the ad, it may not make sense to us in Google Analytics, because we can't understand what each ad ID means. So the last thing that we need to do is just choose an account, and I'm going to choose, as before, our kitchen marketing account. Save that here and then run it. And so as we saw before, we should be getting this one kind of should come out as correct, and then 3 of them should come out as false. All right, so this ran perfectly. So let's make sure we check the message here, and it is saying indeed 4 ads are active or pending. 3 of those have missing or owners UTM parameters. And once again, if I click here and open this in a new tab, I get those 3 ads pre-filtered that indeed have no UTM parameter, no UTM parameter, and the wrong one. And the one that was correct wasn't shown here. So it's really easy for me to be able to kind of fix that right now as I learn of this. One thing that I want to make sure is when going back to this is making sure that I have all of my automations set up to run on a daily basis. So the UTM parameter monitor I want to run every day at 4 p.m. My uptime monitor I want to run every day at 4 p.m. too. And the ads pixel tracking monitor I also want to run at 4 p.m. And obviously, if you have a pro account, you can run this even on an hourly basis, and that may make more sense even. We do even have the option of running this every 10 minutes. Obviously, if one of your links is broken, you probably want to know right away, because otherwise you're just kind of wasting money, you're pouring it out the window.